Hey, it's me again. So I started building this thing today. That is a Bachmann Daylight shell. It's two of them. I chopped two of them in half strategically, where it wouldn't be noticed as much. I have to obviously shave these off and get rid of this piece here very carefully. And I'm going to keep this shell and probably make a 4/6 4 out of it. It's about the right length. I cut it so I could keep the original paint. I do have to get a little bit of orange color to match that. That ought to be interesting. So what I got here is sitting on top of a Rivarossi chassis, 464 Challenger chassis that I bought that was damaged and incomplete. So I decided to make this. What I did was I removed the firebox from the Bachmann frame, and I grinded down the Rivarossi one, obviously because it would need to be bigger if it's articulated. It's got that many, cylinders rather. So I did that. I cut the nose free. Someone posted a comment saying that, they didn't know how I was going to make it articulated because it has the skirts. Well, that's how I did it. I cut it and I sanded it down. It looks normal from the front. I'm going to add a headlight right here in the middle, so when it turns, just like a big boy, I am going to get some orange paint this lip so it's not an eyesore, and redo the silver stripe where I had to sand it down in order for it to match. Now, what I did was, the Rivarossi chassis needed a lot of chopping. So I'm going to pull this cover off. It also needs to be neatened up, but so this is glued together in the inside, and it's a little bit of that white stuff is baking soda, just to add some strength. And I very carefully drummeled a lot of the plastic out, but not enough because the plastic's pretty damn thick. I needed the extra space because this can motor is huge, and I'm trying to get away with keeping that motor in there. I have other motors that were smaller. I may have to put one in if it causes the chest, if it's resting up against the frame, the shell, and it vibrates, I'll put a smaller motor in there, but I'd rather not. So, as you can see, what I did was I grinded all this down because it needs to fit in here. So, I did a lot of grinding. A lot. And I left the bottom so it's still, when it's in there, it still looks like it has pipes and whatnot. Most of the stuff you can't see. So the shell just kind of pops on there. I haven't made any mountain brackets yet, which I will do at some point. It's not wired. The chassis does work. It's not wired to anything right now, so I'm going to slide this back a little bit. So that's how it fits on there. So you can see the way it looks. I kept as much of the stuff as I can, and then when you tip it upside down, it doesn't look all hacked up. You can still see some of the piping on the edges and whatnot. Now, whoever owned this chassis before had a DCC in it, and they put a cam on the gear, and they soldered it on there, so I am not gonna, and it must have been a switch that was glued here, so it would chuff or puff or whatever. I don't know what it was for, but they damaged a few things. They damaged, this is one of the wheels that came off of it. Looks melted, doesn't it? It looks like they grinded down the rim. The rim may have been hitting one of the rods. So they grinded it down, and when they did that, they melted the rim and ruined it. So I had an older style Rivarossi rim, and I swapped it. Same size rim. The rim is a little different. You really can't tell once you're staring at it. It's that rim right there, which actually is one of these. But it is what it is. And you can see that the flange is bigger. So if this thing works, which it will, I will take this wheel off and I will wet sand some of the flange down. Obviously you need to use water or it will heat up and it'll melt like that one did. So that's what I did. I re-quadded the wheels. I don't think the extra flange being big is going to bother anything. I think I'm all right. I put this back on there. They had this Mickey Mouse on the back. This is I don't even know what this is from. It's off of a Rivarossi. I just don't know what model it's off of. It may be the older, real old Berkshire Rivarossi. Not sure. But so that fit on there, and I had to grind a little bit of it off so it was able to move. And the only thing I don't know, I'm still using the original, using the tow bar here from the Bachman. I don't know if that's going to work. I may have to attach one to the truck itself like a big boy. Maybe not, because these things are so cheap and it swivels, so it should be able to navigate switches and 18 radius. I don't have many 18 radius on my layout anyway. They're only on the inside loop, so I'm not worried about it. But it should run on 18s, no problem. So, like I said, I chopped the front here so it articulates like a big boy. So I don't know who it was that left a comment and they were wondering how this thing was going to articulate with those panels. Well, with the skirts, that's how. And that's it. I think I'll have it running tomorrow. I started working on this about 3 o'clock today, 2 o'clock today rather, and it's almost 8:30, so not bad. So I don't know if I'm gonna just clean this up and leave the black there or repaint it or what. I don't know. Repaint the black. I don't want to lose the orange and the red. Unfortunately, the front half is a little bit faded. Coloring is a little off, but no harm, no foul. I think it looks pretty damn good for junk. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Have a great weekend.